Hello and welcome to Southside News Today. I'm Chuck Bitterman reporting. Southside News Today is presented by the Chatham Tribune, Nicholas Drone Service, Dorton Insurance Agency on Piney Forest Road, and by Shanks Associates, engineers, surveyors, and planners. A Danville call center is closing its doors, a move that will leave 123 people out of a job. The PRA Group opened that call center 4 years ago in the former Tel Vista building at Airside Industrial Park. The Norfolk-based firm initially promised 500 workers with an investment of over $15 million to purchase and equip the building. A PRA spokesperson says they will consolidate their collection activities across their remaining locations in Norfolk, Hampton, and elsewhere. They'll shut down the Danville office by October 20th. PRA says they're working with the displaced employees to help them find other work. Police in South Boston have identified a suspect in a weekend shooting death, and they believe a shooting on Monday was tied to that homicide. It happened early Sunday near Willow Oaks Apartments. A caller said they heard multiple gunshots. While police were at the scene, 25-year-old Quaheen Chandler arrived at the emergency room at Centara Halifax Hospital. He died a short time later. Police are say they're looking for 19-year-old Javante Jordan, charged with second-degree murder and weapons counts. Investigators say he and Chandler got into a fight. Jordan reportedly pulled a gun and fired multiple shots. One hit Chandler's upper torso. Meantime, a little more than 24 hours later, Monday night, police were called back to Willow Oaks Apartments. Witnesses say a man in a four-door car with other occupants drove up to the complex, exchanged gunfire with another man. A 19-year-old South Boston youth was hit by a bullet and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Charges in that shooting are pending. Meantime, Jordan is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone knowing of his whereabouts is asked to call South Boston Police at 575-7273. Local tourism officials hope a new report released Wednesday will move their efforts to the next level. The Danville Office of Economic Development and Tourism released its first ever Regional Tourism Master Plan, a 118-page document outlining a roadmap to help leaders plan for and support a thriving regional tourism industry. The Eddie Alexander Group got input and contributions from more than 2,000 local citizens and business owners. It showed a, quote, positive and hopeful sentiment related to the growth of the tourism sector, but participants held a consistently pragmatic attitude and generally understood that the hard work of turning Danville in Pennsylvania County into a tourism destination is just beginning. The report also examined the patterns of 75,000 visitors to the area with the highest number of visitors to Danville, Roanoke-Lynchburg, close second, Greensboro Metro. Danville leaders have adopted a plan to expand rental home inspection efforts in the city. The city currently has 3 of those districts, North, South, and Old West End. They were created because most of the properties are rentals, and there were a large number of maintenance code complaints. Well, City Council's now voted to add 2 areas. City Manager Ken Larkin says the premise remains the same.
I don't believe it changed any of the restrictions. It just added more area that would be covered under rental inspection districts.
The new South District is next to the existing Old West End. It contains 473 parcels with structures. Over half are rentals, a fourth are owner-occupied, 19% are vacant. The second new area, the Almagro community south of Industrial Avenue. That includes 260 parcels, 43% rental, 39% owner-occupied, 18% vacant. Pennsylvania County's new fire and rescue agreement restores some provisions that were done away with during a high-profile political feud last year. The amended agreement approved in this week's meeting adds requirements that volunteer agencies send the county a copy of their 990 IRS tax form. This requirement was added in 2020, but rescinded last year when Tunstall District Supervisor Vic Ingram was chairman. He opposed the idea, noting that it could force agencies to release a list of their donors. Westover Supervisor Ron Scarce, though, supported the return of that requirement.
It puts back the accountability we had last year that was taken away. And I had said at the time, until the accountability is brought back, I would not support any more pay or operational cost funding for the fire and rescue folks. With this new service agreement, I can take that back. I can go ahead and start approving. And if you look over our track
Now, Ingram says the agency donor list will not be available. He notes that agencies do annual audits anyway, and they can submit their 990 with a letter from their CPA to meet the new county requirements. Builders of the Mountain Valley Pipeline are trying to revive a planned expansion, and they're getting some local support. The Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors this week adopted a resolution supporting development of the Southgate extension. That's a proposed 75-mile spur of the main pipeline that would carry gas from Pennsylvania County south into Rockingham and Alamance counties in North Carolina. Federal regulators, though, will not allow the extension work to begin until the company gets federal permits for the main pipeline that will deliver gas from the West Virginia shale fields to the Transco compressor station in Pennsylvania County. The Supreme Court is being asked to lift a stop order issued last week by the 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Richmond. While state transportation officials say a bridge in the Banister District of Pennsylvania County is not in bad enough shape to warrant its replacement. The Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors asked the Department of Transportation to take another look at the Route 57 East Bridge over the Banister River. They asked VDOT to repair or replace the bridge as quickly as possible. Resident engineer Chris Winstead told supervisors this week, even though the 91-year-old bridge is currently restricted to one lane, it is safe.
All of the bridges that are in our system that are open, they are safe. There are no weight restrictions for any vehicles across the 57 bridge across the Banister River. There are no weight restrictions.
Traffic was reduced to a single lane on the bridge after a study in 2019 showed some structural issues.
We determined that there was a need for a repair on the trucks. We made the repair, and then we did a load rating assessment, which is just making sure we properly understand how much weight that 91-year-old bridge can hold. And at that time, we realized we had to post the bridge for 24 tons.
Winstead says there are several other bridges in the county that are in much worse shape, and they are already in the funding pipeline.
We are juggling a lot of priorities and trying to do the best we can and hit the worst ones first. So, again, the bridge is safe. There are no weight restrictions for any vehicles. We have the signals up, less than 1 minute wait. But here's the thing. We're going to continue to assess the condition, and we are exploring other options.
Winstead says when the Route 57 bridge warrants replacement, it will be added to VDOT's 6-year transportation work list. That is Southside News Today. I'm Chuck Vipperman reporting. Southside News Today is presented by the Chatham Tribune, Nicholas Drone Service, Dorton Insurance Agency on Piney Forest Road, and by Shanks Associates, engineers, surveyors, and planners. I'm Chuck Vipperman. Have a great day.